Your home went under contract, everything is moving forward, and then the appraisal comes in low. Now what? Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm both a realtor and a certified residential appraiser, and this is one of the most stressful moments for sellers. But it's also one of the most misunderstood, because a low appraisal doesn't automatically mean your deal is dead. But what you do next matters. So let's walk through this step by step so you know exactly how to handle it. First, what does a low appraisal actually mean? It means the appraised value came in below the contract price. And if the buyer is using financing, the lender is going to base their loan on the lower value, not the contract price. So now there's a gap, and that gap has to be addressed. Step 1 is to stay calm and look at the situation objectively. This is where emotions can take over, but the best thing you can do is pause and understand your options, because you do have options. Step 2 is to review the appraisal carefully. Not all appraisals are perfect. You want to look at the comparable sales used, the adjustments that were made, and any potential errors or missing information. Sometimes there are things that can be questioned, but it needs to be done thoughtfully and with support. Step 3 is to renegotiate. This is the most common path. You and the buyer can agree to lower the price, meet somewhere in the middle, or have the buyer bring additional cash to cover the gap. And what happens here often depends on how strong the buyer is and how competitive the situation was. Step 4 is to challenge the appraisal, but only when it makes sense. This is called a reconsideration of value. And this is where having strong comparable sales or overlooked information can make a difference. But this isn't about arguing. It's about presenting data that supports a different value. And not every situation will justify this step. Step 5 is to evaluate your position in the market. If the deal falls apart, you need to ask, will the next buyer run into the same issue? Because if your home appraised low once, there's a good chance it could happen again. And that's where strategy becomes really important. Now, here's the part most people don't talk about. A low appraisal is often a reflection of the market, not a judgment of your home. It doesn't mean your home isn't valuable. It just means the data didn't support that price at that moment. And understanding that helps you make better decisions instead of reactive ones. The goal here isn't to win against the appraisal. It's to navigate the situation in a way that protects your outcome. If you're in this situation or want to avoid it altogether, having a clear pricing strategy from the beginning makes a huge difference. Because the best way to handle a low appraisal is to reduce the chances of it happening in the first place. If you're thinking about selling and want to approach pricing and strategy in a way that protects you from surprises like this, I'm always happy to help walk you through that. And if this was helpful, make sure to follow along. I'll be breaking down more of the things most sellers don't realize about the process.